I'm Brandon.
And I'm Jesse.
We're Cannabis School. Having cannabis-infused conversations
with everyday people,
cannabis companies,
celebrities,
and your mom.
Welcome to the sesh.
Jesse was like, hey, there's this metal band, and we should have them on. I'm like,
the prerequisite is like, do you guys smoke weed? And you're like, yes. I'm like, welcome aboard. That's all you had to do.
All right, so were you on acid when you bought your hoodie, or did you only get it to, like, do acid on and stare at?
This would be really intense to stare at.
Oh my
on
god!
acid.
Yeah, I'm like looking at that shit. And I'm like,
super cool.
What in the world?
So it's
like a novel.
Yeah, clippets from a manga artist named Junji Ito, and his artwork is just phenomenal. I love all of his stuff. Have all of his books.
What books does he write, or what series?
His most popular one, I think, is Uzumaki. Yeah, it's like a.
So I don't know anything about manga really.
Okay.
But my youngest
does.
is big into like. We got her all the Demon Slayer books. She's read all of that. She's done. I have no idea.
Pretty cool.
She's
Huh?
Demon Slayer. But
Yeah,
I've never read the manga either.
Yeah.
That was so smooth. Excellent.
Right?
amazing.
Jet filtrations. It's like a
Sick.
Yeah,
it's
this
like
guy.
a triple percolation or some kind of.
Quadruple? Yeah.
Oh, holy hell.
Yeah, that's very smooth.
My cousin, this is their extra small one.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's the smallest one.
And it's about that tall. And she has 5 perks in it.
That's plenty
Okay,
big,
so
dude.
here's a fun story for you. Back in the day, maybe like 10 years ago or something, Jordan may remember, I had this bong that was probably like from the ground up to here.
I do. Oh, yeah.
That's
And
tall.
it had like I think it was 27 percolators like in the stack itself.
Holy shit.
And then I added that little add-on with more percolation.
Like the bowl one that's...
So you have the bowl, the filter. And,
Yeah.
and
Must sound like an earthquake every time you
like
took a
the
hit.
It was amazing.
ash catcher filter. The ash catcher filter.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Dude.
That's
we
insane.
called it Percules. It
Yeah, I
was
was going
amazing.
to ask what its name
Percules.
This is George Jetson. But
Nice.
Hercules.
So
Break
good.
that or sell it or something.
Oh, it broke at one of our biggest parties.
That's okay. I thought it broke. I thought it
Yeah.
broke.
No,
It was
good.
one hell of a party. If there was any way for that thing to break, that was it. So I can't be that mad about it, but it was a bummer. Like
This one's supposed to be indestructible.
really.
It's
Beat the
hefty.
shit out of
Yeah.
anything.
They did videos on their site, and they stood up, like climbed up on a 6-foot ladder and threw it on the ground, and it just bounced, and the bowl flew out, and that was it.
wild.
And they just picked up the bowl, put it back in, and it worked perfect. And I was like, what the fuck?
Now I'm
Like, I don't want
curious,
to test that.
What is the breaking point? Like,
Right?
what do you have to do to
Like
actually
drive a
break
car on it, probably, or something.
Yeah,
Or
it's like those other
drop it
ones.
from a crazy height.
Have you seen those other ones? They call them tank something or other. They're made out of glass, but they're indestructible. And
Okay.
you
No.
hear them hitting, and you hear that pink.
And it's a
you know?
bong?
Yeah, it's a bong. It's super hard. Like they took a truck and they drove over it. Oh
God.
They fucking threw it into this parking lot, and it just hits the ground. And they
And a
just
Mercedes, and then a Prius, and, you know, a couple
pick-
other
the guy
things.
comes over, runs over real quickly, and fills the bowl.
Or even smokes it. And
And it still works. And you're just like, man, I've got to have that.
It's a real
Tyrone
testament to like how
Biggums.
far like the glass making industry has come over the past like what
That's
10,
insane.
20 years.
Oh, I know.
well, because so this
Nuts.
has been over the last 10 years. This room has been my smoking room, and this is my old garage. So the floor is all cement. There has been endless amounts of pieces that have shattered on this, brand new. Like
Right.
Dude.
Yeah, we had just gone to, me and my buddies had been going to Colorado regularly at Cortez and getting flour and coming back. So we were getting points at this dispensary. And so we finally had gotten so many points. I'm like, oh, look at this dope bong. So we got the bong, we got it back, we got some new flour, and we get back, we set it on the table, and we're loading everything up, and it gets knocked off and shatters. And it was like, we didn't even get to smoke out of it
So been there.
or anything. And we're like, no!
Sure.
Absolutely been there, especially with like a fresh one.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen. I just haven't been. I mean, I haven't been in the bong game for
In the flower. He started with pens when he got back in and was doing pens for quite a while.
I kind of like them for occasional like efficiency and just having something.
Yeah.
But like they destroy your tolerance. It seems like.
It just doesn't feel the same. And
Yeah.
we had a guest on, and it was the best description ever of any kind of distillate. That's hot dog water. That's what it is. It's hot dog water. It's not the
Some Limp Bizkit
preferred.
reference.
You get like a water.
Yeah, dude. Chocolate starfish.
Yep.
The hot dog flavored water. Like that.
Yeah.
Like ultimate white guy dancing, right?
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
Instead of just like this, it's like moving the whole body from the waist up.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
Just rolling. You know?
Exactly, dude. That guy's. It's just songs about Molly, right? He just getting fucked up. But oh, dude, no. This is like one of the coolest bongs we've ever had. Like we got this. There was a period where we started getting so much shit sent to us, and we're not complaining. It was awesome. We got so many vaporizers, bongs, and it was so
Nice.
many
boxes and
It's
stuff.
this kick-ass promotional stuff that you get to like.
Oh,
test
dude,
out.
we're like, we'll review it on the show, and then everybody's like, what? And so
Hell yeah.
I had this big fucking box in my house, and Brandon, like above here, we ran out of places.
I
Like,
had so much shit.
see
We're
that
like, we
little-
have to do
that's a-
giveaways. We have like
that's a Canador.
Okay.
So it's like a humidor, right, for cannabis, but that fucking thing, that's just like one of like 7 we've had, and we've had some like
Damn.
3.
real crazy ones, dude. Yeah, right. Vegas is the saddest fucking place I've ever been to.
Dude, it's a trash pit.
When I was a kid, it was like the place. It was the place where you get the leaflets with the chick
Yeah.
with the boobs.
For real, dude. Oh,
Right?
dude, that's
You,
my
like,
exact experience.
Fold it
with
up,
Vegas.
put it in your name. Your mom's like, "What'd you do over there?" Like, oh.
Dude, you just told like my 8-year-old story.
Dude, there you go.
No, I had a friend.
That is exactly what happened, man.
That's fucking funny, dude.
I had a friend who actually slipped and sprained his ankle on one of those little
flyers on the ground.
Yeah, flyers on the ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
They got those clickers
Your
out there.
titties
that,
broke my leg.
exactly.
must have been some hard nipples on that.
Right.
Really.
Slippery
Caught
nips.
his toenail. He's
Well,
like, oh!
too lubed up.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh god.
It's got those slip nips. And
You gave out a used one? Yeah, that's what they said there.
Dude, it's a wonderland for a young man.
I know, right? Oh, it was. It's on top of the fucking like taxi cabs, and it's lit up, and it's
Right.
like half a nipple.
I didn't
hanging
even
out
have
on
to
the
take
fu-
anything home. I just had to look at the ground the whole time.
Yeah.
Look at all the titties.
Yeah, but now,
Your
dude,
mom's like trying to cover your eyes.
Yeah.
Don't look at the ground, kids. Don't look up.
We need to get out of here.
Yeah. It was
Then
weird.
there's
We all
that
looked
one
like
dad-
Muslims because she'd put towels over
Yeah.
our heads. Like, don't look anywhere.
Fucking hell.
it truly is, dude. But when we went back there for MJ BizCon, it was last time around.
Oh, and during the week, it was
Last
a
December.
sad place.
Dude, it was so fucking sad because you just seen these old fucking people there, and you know they've been doing this for a career. Because
Right.
that guy's mad. He's not even happy to be there. You see the young people, they're like, oh,
yeah.
free drinks and money. And then the old people are like, "Wait, it's fucking Tuesday.
This is garbage.
Yeah, they're all from Florida. Why are we here? Why are we here?
We retired
Was
to
that her
Florida, and
bingo
now we're
night?
retired to Vegas.
Right? We go over here. This place smells like old marbles.
Isn't it the weird juxtaposition in Vegas? Like it's so bright and shiny, but it's also so gross and dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
It's so weird.
I think the biggest part for us, when we were driving around and we were looking for Planet 13, it's a massive dispensary down there. And there is this sign
Been
that
to it.
says,
Yeah.
you know where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But there's a sign there for a strip club. And it talks about, and you'll see Sandy Wednesday, the 27th. And then the next digital billboard that comes up for that place is free daycare. And you're
Oh
like,
my god.
fuck. And all I kept thinking is,
Man.
that's all I started thinking about, inequality.
This is so
you know, of
weird.
the races. You know why? Because how dare they? That woman can get a job dancing. The fuck, I can't. That's not going to work. People are like, no, dude, here's $50. Go away.
I'll pay you not to dance.
Either that or
And it won't be a
people,
lot either.
dance.
yeah, people are flipping nickels and shit.
People pay me to stop dancing.
Yeah.
Ow, please stop. It's just like that place I keep thinking about. Like, it was my favorite strip club in the military. I went to it one time for retirement, but it just had the best sign out there. It says Deja Vu, home of 1,000 beautiful women and 3 ugly ones.
Yeah.
And you get some like knock-kneed, scary-looking chick who's super skinny with a distended belly, and she's dancing on stage 3 to Rob Zombie, and you're like, and people are giving her money. And they're like, yeah, dude.
I honestly don't get it.
That's
like
I do.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of
think about
charities
it,
out
you're
there,
just-
but these guys
you're
know what they're
paying-
doing.
You're paying for blue balls. Like here's
I don't
weird.
know.
When you're like paying for affection. That's gross.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like
Well, it's this chick
Yeah.
who comes over there, and you're sitting like this. That's what I remember. And I say that because everybody's like, fucking Jesse, Saturday, fucking Friday. But no, dude, seriously, like, you would sit there, and then this girl would come over there, and she'd put her foot down like this, still the other foot like there. So she's opening her legs, and she's staring off like a construction guy. Like, just like, I don't know.
Mister, you lost?
And I
help you?
and they got this.
oh, excuse me.
standing over top of you like Captain Morgan.
Yeah, dude, seriously. This is her job. She's like a city worker.
Yeah. Definitely a
like,
city worker.
So how long you been doing this? I'm waiting for the new song to come on.
Do I have to pay you for this too?
And then I'm like,
She's like so mechanical. about
yeah.
it.
And I'm like, I don't want this. And she goes, your friends paid for it. Oh.
Do I have to have it?
And they're over
Can I
there
pay you
going,
to stop?
yay! And then she just starts dancing. I can't move or touch her because there's this giant Aryan dude in the corner eyeballing me. And I'm like, fuck. And she's just like dancing over there. And I'm like, so this is your career? And they go, no, I'm going to college. And I'm like, oh, all right. Well, what are you studying? Marketing. And she's trying to rub on me. And I'm like, oh my God.
Marketing.
And I'm just
She's just
thinking,
grinding on you.
how many different colognes are rubbing all over me? How many other dudes has she been rubbing on? I'm like, oh my God, this is awful.
It's like
It was the worst. And guys are going like $700-800 deep, and they've been there for just maybe a couple hours. And I'm like, how do you hang here for 20 minutes?
I've never gone to a strip club still.
dude, I
It's
went
never been something
I went
that's
once and that was
Such a
enough.
letdown.
Yeah,
And
me
it was
too.
in
Did it
Vegas.
once, and I did it in New York.
really.
Yeah.
I just the concept to me seems weird.
It is
like,
weird.
Dude, it's
It is.
disgusting, but like
That, yeah, I would feel really
after
gross.
experiencing it, you're like, okay, cool. Now I know.
Like I've gone to like
Not my
a Cirque du Soleil kind of show
Oh,
that they put on a
much rather
performance
go to
and
that.
stuff, and that was cool. It was unique, but it wasn't like someone coming up and grinding on me and stuff, and me going like, what do we do next? Like, do I buy? I don't
No,
know.
you just
You
give
just
her
have to sit
money.
there awkwardly,
Yeah,
keep your
but it-
hands by your pockets, like, yeah.
But that doesn't sound appealing
No,
to me.
it
Like,
doesn't.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm
like,
with you.
I'd rather connect to a human and like have a personal connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that just seems odd to me.
And you know they're just like being nice to you, so you tip them more, right? Like it's so fake.
I wonder how it works now, though, because back in the day, it was dollar bills. Like, I jokingly said that to this woman because she looked around my age. She's middle-aged. And I'm at Costco checkout, and I had a fuck ton of $1 bills, and I'm like, I'm just going to play with these. And she's just like, and I'm all, it was a really good night this last weekend. I was on stage 2. And she goes, just pauses, just stares at me, and I'm all, yeah, you probably know me by my stage name, Chad. And she goes, and she's like, are you serious? And I'm like, no. And I was like, but I would always question somebody paying all with $1 bills.
Oh my
like,
God.
why is there a crease all the way in the lengthwise?
Right?
Right? Because the guys are putting these little pyramids down there. But dude, it was like, what do they do now? Like they Venmo her? Right? I mean, what is
Right.
it? Like, they're like,
Well, no. See, they just have that AirTag thing just right above their ass, and you just tap
No.
your phone to it. It's a tap to pay.
they put a QR code on their inner thigh, and they go, and then a bunch of phones come up.
Then you have to scan it. But if they're dancing on you, just have the tap to pay
Yeah. Oh,
right on their back. Oh yeah, that's,
they have it sewn in their skin.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The little microchips
just
that we're getting.
4 lights light up. 4 green. Oh, you're good to go. He can stay. Don't kill him. Yeah, dude. It is such an odd thing. But, for those who are really into it, I mean, I think strippers have been killed off by OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I could see
I can
that.
see that for sure.
Yeah.
Because now the awkwardness is just you in your room, in your sad little room, and you're staring at the screen, and
Yeah.
you're sweating. Right? And you're just
Upset.
Yeah.
Overthinking.
No, but
a
you're
little bit
upset.
low.
But
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like people hitting themselves with belts, right? You're just like,
Dude,
why are you
OnlyFans
doing
is
that?
so peculiar. It's weird.
It is weird, but you know what? To each their own, right?
Right,
As the
right.
great prophet Ruth says.
Don't yuck someone's yums.
That's right. Don't yuck someone's yums. You'll see an episode with Ruth. We're trying to get her on the show. She is the
She's
funny.
just about ready. She's working on her project, and she's like, I want to have that ready before I come on the show. I was like, all right, that's fair. Yeah. Because I was like, well, is there anything that's like important to you that you'd want to talk about that, we could mention just to kind of support you at the end or something? She's like, well, I've been working on it, but it's not quite ready. I'm like, all right, well, we'll hold off.
Okay.
So
I'll be really excited if it's something horrible. I've been working on this meat collage. You're like, God. And it's on sale, but buy it quick because it expires in 12 days.
well, it just develops. So it becomes a
turns
adaptable art piece.
Oh, that's right. It changes
it's
colors.
modern, and textures and smells.
Yeah, it's a whole experience.
It's like a 5-dimensional art piece.
It's the
Organic
only art.
experience.
The only art piece that's refrigerated.
It's just called death, and it's like the experience of
Well-
decomposition over time.
Gross.
Yeah, it hits all 5 senses.
Oh, yeah. Is that because you pet it?
Would it become more valuable
go
as
lick
it
it.
decays or less valuable?
There's just a big dare sign next to it, saying "lick it."
Oh man!
But it's like the drug dare.
Oh shit, dude, this is good. This is a funny strain, dude.
So this was Super Boof, you said, right? That you
Yeah.
ground up? Oh, man. This
Super Boof is
fantastic.
awesome because we did.
it's good stuff. I'm enjoying it so
We've
far.
done Super Boof before. We did this from Arizona.
Is this like a hybrid of some sort? Or
No, this is a local grow. This is Dragonfly.
Yeah, but let's see what
Good job, Dragonfly. Very delicious.
Dude.
strain is.
I'll tell you, one of the. Oh, hold on. There we go. One of these strains that they have, they're apples and bananas.
Yeah.
Oh my! It's the best to vaporize because when you're smoking it, like you taste like what could only be described as red delicious apple.
Crispy. Yeah, red crispy apple.
No,
Oh,
no,
the green
red
one.
delicious ones, but you're just tasting the peel and slight apple, and then at the
Interesting.
end, it tastes like bananas.
that's wild.
Yeah, as the bowl
What?
matures, you taste bananas. They have a glazed apricot gelato, the best smelling strain.
Well, it was amazing.
It smells like you want to eat the bud.
Yeah, it does.
It smells
It's so
sweet.
good.
It smells like you want to eat it. But we didn't have a great experience on it because our bodies, we might have just had way too much
You liked it
cannabis
when
in
you mixed it with something, though.
Yeah, when you mix it, it's a great strain.
I actually just tinctured that. It's finishing the tincture this morning. But that's for Emily, not for me.
Well, that would be cool to experience too, because it could be slightly different.
Well, it's that mixed with Dosolato number 8. So,
That sounds like a sleepy time.
well, that is what hers is. It usually takes a tincture right before bed.
Yeah,
Because I had
yeah.
made cannabis infused sugar, and she was using that, but then she was like, I don't like. It's fine if she's wanting to use it as a drink replacement, because like she bought Pomos and that, and Pomos tastes like bubblegum, the one that she got. And she's like, so that's a weird thing to mix into a drink. And I was like, well, I can, if you're just wanting the infused drinkable, I can make you THC infused sugar, and you can put like a quarter of a teaspoon in the drink and make your drink. So she did that. And I was like, that's way easier, but that's not her nighttime one, because she always takes an edible to go to bed.
Yeah.
But it's like really low dose.
You should check out, there are these ones around here called jams.
Oh, I've heard good things about those. Yeah.
They have a green apple that tastes like, you know those suckers?
Yeah.
The caramel apples?
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Have you ever tried the dialed in gummies?
No.
They're in Colorado and they're incredible.
Dude, the ones I...
Is that the brand itself?
It's
is
called
dialed
dialed in, yeah.
There's a really, really good one. It's like all natural fruit, everything. It's called Wild from Oregon. And it tastes... what would be the best way to describe it? My kids have a treat. It's like a fruit roll-up, but it's dense.
Oh,
And it's like a stick.
delicious.
And that's
Okay.
what the consistency is like that. But this was back in the day when my tolerance was much lower. Like now I could probably eat a full 10 milligram and be like, that's a nice day. But before I would have been like, I had my switch. We were in California for a wedding. And I got an edible from there. My wife's like, "Hey, we're getting ready to go to the wedding." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Just ate that, laid in bed, was playing Zelda. I didn't even know I was there for a while. And my wife was like, "Hey, we're going." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "We're going." I'm like, "Okay." And I was like marrying her brother and his wife, and so I was going to do the ceremony of it. And I'm like,
We're all gathered.
"No, I mean, it was cool though. I mean,
today.
so
A little
anyways,
slower pace
guys,
than what they thought.
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. Yeah. And
These guys like each other.
Yeah.
let's get
great,
this shit
man.
done. Let's get
Let's
some
all
food.
be excellent to each other.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, guys, tell us about your band. Tell us about, I mean,
Well, hang
kind of
on.
the inspiration.
We got West and Jordan.
Yeah.
From the Rationalist.
Yeah. From Rationalist. These guys are a metal band. They're big in Helsinki. That's what we just found out.
And
Which is-
Salt Lake.
In Salt Lake. But hopefully after today.
Yeah, we can definitely go over those numbers.
Yeah. No, but it's super cool, man, because, what's really funny about West is that we met during the pandemic, actually.
Yep.
So I remember when I was fixing PlayStations like crazy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I fixed his.
I had PlayStation 4 and loved it, but it, like many of them did, it started to have some of the jet engine
Was yours the
problems
one
and
that
was just
had
loud.
cockroaches in it, or the one that the girl?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I saw pictures of that one and heard about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Dude, the craziest shit I ever found was this giant fucking angry looking centipede. And not something you find in the stateside. I've never, maybe in California, but it was like a jungle one. And I was like, and the guy was from Hawaii, and he's like, "Hey, what's wrong with my PlayStation?" And I was like, "Bro, this." And I had it in a baggie, and he goes,
This-
"Oh, that's fucked up." And you know when they're from, because, dude, like, you know how, like, if you ever worked in a call center and you start punching in a credit card number, you already know what kind of credit card it is.
Yeah.
Or when you ask them, like, when I was in the military, if I tell them my social security number to somebody, they'd be like, "Oh, you're from Utah," and I'm like, "How the fuck do you know that?"
what?
And they go, "Well, these numbers," and I'm like, "You see it all the time. That's why."
That's
crazy.
Cool, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's weird. So me and my brother have our social security numbers are one number different, and we are 2 years apart.
It's just like our barcode.
Me and my
right?
sister are that way too.
Really?
No joke.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's wild,
Strange.
yeah,
isn't
You're-
it?
Yeah.
yeah. And we're
I was like, because we're 2 years
Yeah,
apart.
like
we're not
years
even
apart.
close.
I think we're like 10 months apart.
Whoa.
Yeah, my
wow.
parents got
Yeah.
it was quick.
Well, his kids are that
Dad
way.
was
He had
eager.
3 under
He's
3.
like, the calendar
It
says.
says
Your
we
mom's
can do
like-
this again.
At least one of them was baby hungry after the first.
Right?
Or
Man.
at least practicing. That's
That's
man.
crazy. So, how long have you guys been in band?
Been a
How long has
while, right?
Rationalist been around?
Yeah. Okay. So interesting story. Me and Jordan have been jamming since 2012.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when West and I met. 2012.
Yeah. And it was on Craigslist.
I was like scouring Craigslist for people to join my band.
Was that on like Casual Encounters or where?
men
No,
looking?
it-
It was men looking for men.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah.
They have this category like musician or some such. I can't remember. It was a long
You
time
can
ago.
find gear and try to
Okay.
find
Dude,
other
that
members.
place was awesome, was it not? Because I
Craigslist
met
was great.
some really interesting people through Craigslist.
But that's
Only did
that's
it
how
a
we
few
met.
times, but yeah, it was just put a post on there like I need to find someone. I don't care what the hell I do. Like I'll figure it out. I just need to what do you guys need?
So yeah, Wes put out this like broad post about I can play whatever instrument and I can sing or whatever. And so I'm like, cool. We need a drummer and a singer, and we get Wes in there. And well, the first time I met him, he was wearing a pink cast on his arm, and he
I had
came
fallen
for
on
a
my
drum
longboard,
audition.
broke my thumb, and scraped myself up really good.
Drumming
You're gonna
with a
play the
cast?
drums.
He was supposed to be coming in for a drum audition initially.
Okay, wait. Was your arm busted or what? What
No,
was?
it was my thumb. Had gone down here from catching and
Okay.
falling on the longboard.
So you fucked up your thumb, and you were gonna try and drum.
Yeah. Well, the opportunity was there. It's just the timing was so shitty, right?
So he's like that guy on Black Hawk Down. He pulls out his K-bar and he cuts it off.
And starts drumming.
Let's go. He's crying. Like that what you've ever seen that movie? What's his name? J.K. Simmons. It's a jazz movie
I don't
about
think so.
drumming. Oh, dude, it's
Oh yeah, it's like
what's it
it's in
called?
2013.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy about it just the other day.
Shit, but dude, it is like like you're like, I'm not gonna watch this shit, and you're getting this guy who's J.K. Simmons. You guys know who J.K. Simmons is?
No.
He played the head of the paper for the Daily Planet, and he hated Peter Parker. He hated Spider-Man. He hated Spider-Man, and he'd be like, Parker, get in here, right? The guy with the mustache.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
But he's bald, and he's like, this guy's playing the drums, and he's like, play it again, and he hears it again, and he throws a chair at him.
No, I've seen clips from this. I have not
What
seen
is
the
it
movie.
called?
I've seen clips.
What the fuck?
I know
I'm
nothing.
gonna look it up right now.
I totally had it brought up the other day. Like, I
Dude, what
looked
is
up.
it?
All right, so you showed up with a busted
yeah.
arm.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah,
about
with
the
your
busted
hand
arm.
in a
And I'm
cast.
like, okay, I had this drum kit set up in there.
Stoned right now.
And I was like, okay, cool. Get behind the kit. I'll play this song. And we start ripping through it. And Wes is just kind of casually just jamming.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Yeah.
We're playing this aggressive metal shit. And I was like, so
have to do shit
after
with
that
my
one
fucking
song,
hand.
I was just like, dude, that's not going to work out. You said you could sing, right? So I had this PA set up. I handed him a mic. And we was like, okay, let's rip through that song again. And then Wes just comes out like a monster on what's it screams. So we were like, yeah, you're the guy. You're the guy. It was instant, like, yep.
That's
So,
wild.
Yeah.
but that's kind of funny story. He
So
came
do
in
you
to play
just sing
drums.
in the band now, or do you play
I do all the
instruments?
harsh vocals. I help write like some of the other instruments as we self-produce the stuff.
Yeah, Wes and I are the primary composers in the band. Yeah, so
That's cool.
We bounce our ideas back and forth, pick up the instruments, throw down MIDI, and just bounce ideas. And but in terms of other instruments live, it's a little too intricate for me to do that and the vocals
At the same
At
time.
the same time, at least like with the timing structures
it's
we're
really
trying to go
challenging.
for.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So just not realistic.
Yeah,
And
it's way
serious
too
props
much
to any
to-
musician who does that.
for sure.
Yeah, that's like some crazy White Stripe shit, right?
It's crazy.
2 people. So how many people are in the band?
No, there's
Just
4 of us.
There's
in the
four
group.
of us. Yeah, but we have written most of this new EP of ours.
Nice.
That's cool. Is that the one that just came out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did go to your Spotify page, and I was like, oh, they had a single, and then you had a new release that was out. So
Yeah.
that's way cool.
It's been a month and a half.
Yeah.
September
man.
27th.
Yeah, I've been listening to it for quite a bit. I'm going to the gym and everything like that. So I'm a big metal fan. Brandon, not so much.
No, I do a little bit of metal, but it just...
Little James Taylor, you know? Some fast shit. Just kidding.
What kind of metal do you like? Like, who's
Oh,
some of
man.
your favorite artists?
Favorite artist is Lamb of God.
Oh, incredible.
After
Absolutely.
that, Shadows Fall. They just got back together. They're out in
Dude, I'm stoked
Massachusetts.
for that. Dude,
Yeah.
I grew up with the new wave of American heavy metal stuff, and that's like my primary roots.
Yeah, Hatebreed. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I was such a big fan of Hatebreed.
But like Linkin Park was our gateway drug, is what West and I like to say.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was
Yeah.
Metallica when I was
Nice.
a kid.
Yeah, they kind of came after Linkin Park for me. I
Yeah.
love Metallica, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I got
those things
Linkin
definitely
Park was a
existed
starter.
before we heard
Yeah.
Linkin Park, but I think like for us, like it was kind of like, oh man, this clicks. I understand that
Yeah.
Yeah.
side of music now.
Yeah.
Because before that, my family didn't listen to rock
Yeah.
at all. My parents were
Yeah, me-
like
me neither.
pop and like soft rock of like the 80s and 90s and shit. And so that's what my parents listened to. And then when I was young, I thought I was black and literally listened to rap, and that was about it. And then like 9th grade, I had an introduction to like Linkin Park and a handful of other artists. I like Yellow Card, some other things came in. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Like I started learning that side of stuff, and I was like, all right, I can appreciate this. And then I got into like Disturbed and
Back when
System
I
of a
thought
Down and
Disturbed.
stuff. And I was like,
System of a
okay.
Down's so good.
Like,
They were definitely one of those
They're
like
huge,
pinnacle ones.
yeah.
but I never got like, I think there's some Lamb of God ones that oh no, it was, I like Tool. There's some really good Tool ones that I like. I haven't listened
Tool
to all
is
of Tool.
phenomenal.
Tool's incredible. I saw them for the
Maynard
first time last year.
It's crazy, dude.
All of 'em.
It's got
Yeah.
3 bands. 3 bands, yeah. I mean,
There's
he's
a
got Perfect
city-
Circle
Right.
and Pucifer.
Oh, I love Perfect Circle.
sure.
They have some
you
really
you
good
like
songs.
Pucifer.
I don't
You
know if
really
I
like
to that
Pucifer
one.
because it's not metal by any means.
No,
It's
not really.
I don't know what the fuck
It's
it
like
is.
weird ass Primus derived type of
Thank
something
you.
or other.
That's
Yeah.
what it is. But I mean, it's got like this.
Interesting.
It's dude, like
I'll
on
check it out and
the
see.
show Yellowstone, they've got
Oh,
like
yeah.
3 of
Okay.
their songs on there.
Huh.
Yeah, it's crazy, but No, I grew up, but I started getting into the heavy stuff from Shadows Fall.
Dude,
Nice.
Back
it was
on.
like one of the first metal shows I ever saw. Was Shadows Fall.
Dude, those guys are awesome.
And Brian's also
with his hair,
with his hair like sweeping the ground.
Now that motherfucker's like 50
dreads.
and he's still got. Yeah, dude, they are huge.
What's your guys' first metal show? I'm curious now.
Oh, for me, my first metal show was Metallica. Was in Washington back when I was in the Navy.
Nice.
So I mean, I saw them, but I saw Disturbed, but I didn't see a lot of metal bands. I saw a lot of local bands.
Sure.
Here, because Utah is just metal.
Mm-hmm.
It's got an awesome scene,
We
man.
love our
dude.
scene. It's like
Yeah.
it might be a little bit smaller than other places, but like it's tight.
Dude, metal bands come here all the time. They love coming here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can see Lamb of God here almost twice a year now because they're touring so much now.
Sure, I saw them last year. I missed them this year, but
I haven't, dude. Here's the shitty thing. I have not gone to a metal show in decades
Oof.
because I'm a dad now and all that, and we're like, yeah, and I've got
We
a fucked
can
up
change
knee.
that for you.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I need to. I need to get back into
Bro,
it.
I went to 3 concerts this year, which was nuts because I haven't gone to concerts in a while. I
dude,
feel
that's
like,
rad.
and so I think Breaking Benjamin and Korn was my only metal concert probably that I've done. That's like the most metal that I've gone to, and then I went to 21 Pilots in just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But that's not metal.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
they're great though. Their new album.
Oh, it's
was great.
amazing. Yeah, it's not metal.
How many shows did you go to last year, Jordan?
Last year I went to like 60.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This year
That's more than one a week, bro. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
There were those weeks.
Are they all like? They're not all in Utah.
They were primarily.
Holy shit.
primarily.
There was
I went
a
and
few
I saw
outside.
Meshuggah in Boston. That was incredible.
Meshuggah, dude.
So it was weird for me to go to Boston and see this like experience with this incredible band and have like the crowd be so much more powerful and huge than Utah. Like
Yeah.
Boston is like where hardcore was born, kind of, and like it was nuts. The
Like the
moshing
energy.
in there
yeah.
and the
Yeah, that's
the energy
that
in
shit's
the stage,
intense.
It was incredible.
Yeah, I can't. I
It
can't
put
get into that.
Utah to shame, but I'm not even trying to dog on Utah. It was just weird
No.
to see the
Yeah.
The difference.
the
between
difference,
it,
the
yeah.
contrast. Yeah, because Utah scene is awesome, and I love to go to shows. So yeah, I
Yeah,
go to them all
apparently.
the time. It's like
Jesus.
it's a way of life, Like
That's cool, man.
Do you just get the season tickets at like all the
no, I just
amphitheaters?
like kind of wait for the announcements to come out, and if I'm like I love that band, I'm usually just gonna pick up a ticket. And
No, I know what it is. He's like, oh, someone's coming to town.
feet pics, feet pics,
Yeah,
feet
some
pics.
feet pics.
All
Put
right.
him up there.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's over there. Gonna show a little heel this time.
and then this year I've probably been to close to that many gigs.
That's cool.
Yeah, shows are awesome, and I like to support that, and I love to discover new music, and yeah, it's a party too. I got a lot of good friends. It's a weird network. Sometimes it feels like metal church.
A little bit.
Like
That's
legitimately.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You go up, you see all your old friends who you've seen at all these other shows. You see them
And
there
it's like
every
we
time.
all came here to worship. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
That's
No,
beautiful.
but it is. I mean, the metal community is not what people think it is.
Yeah.
They think it's just like a bunch of devil worshippers, like who brought the goat
yeah,
and the
No.
chicken for sacrifice.
There's like weird stereotypes, right? But people are just ignorant to that.
They really are.
It's usually like really down to earth folks and
Super.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
peaceful people that have a lot of anger that
Really
they gotta
nice
get out
people.
in a constructive way.
And that's the
Right?
place to do it, is in a safe environment where all these people are going nuts over something they all love. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever like been on the edge of a mosh pit, but like if anyone trips or anything like that, everyone, like there's like 4 or 5 people
sweep
like
in like
sweep in,
insects,
pick them
just-
up. Everyone starts pushing everyone else away in
That's
the middle
cool.
of the mosh pit.
There's
right?
a culture of like people looking out for each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's definitely a warrior type culture
it
too.
is very
Because
no. I was at a show a few weeks ago and I had that like revelation while watching. I was like, we're so tribal. Like, look at everybody.
oh fuck
I
yeah,
was like, this is very peculiar. It was like that like zoomed out moment.
yeah. It's not like going to like a rap concert where somebody got shot out. Well, I mean, depending on where you're at, and
Sure.
what kind of
Yeah.
metal, but
you got all these cavemen fucking pacing in the middle
Yeah.
of the pit. Like,
Yeah.
"Raw."
Yeah, you're
we're all just like,
And if, believe it or not, like a lot of people there at most will just have like alcohol. Like it's not like where you go to a rave and you see all these other drugs going on, and the same ones that'll go on. I've seen at rap concerts before.
It's just alcohol and weed is
It's
pretty much
pretty
what
much
metal
it.
is
And
about.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So let's go into cannabis. So is cannabis part of your creation process?
Certainly.
Yeah, I would say so.
Take us through that.
The creation process.
Yeah, like where do you come up with a song? Like it's usually like out of fucking nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
usually. Or
I mean-
it's kind of inspired by someone else or some other outside influence. Like, this song in this movie, I love how these 3 or 4 notes flow. I want to write something.
Yeah, West is always like throwing me these like little ideas that he's been inspired by. So he's always getting inspired by weird stuff.
That's
Do you
cool,
ever,
though.
does he ever give you stuff and you're like, dude, no, but then later on it turns out to be awesome?
Definitely,
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Because that reminds me of this documentary I saw on Lamb of God. I know I'm obsessed with those guys. Randy Blythe is a fucking
I love that
prima
band.
donna.
Like that's a big foundation of like how I write riffs and stuff. Just
Yeah.
learning from Lamb of God and bands like Trivium.
Oh, Trivium.
Trivium's
Trivium's
always
so
been
good.
like my primary
Heafy?
favorite
Yes.
from that.
Really?
Is
era.
that where
Yeah.
a lot of your influence comes in your writing?
Absolutely, Trivium and Lamb of God and As I Lay Dying, like all that remains.
Oh, yeah. As I Lay
those kind
Dying.
of bands.
Dude, I've got a whole...
As I Lay Dying's a shit show right now, but
Back in the day.
Dude,
back
but
in
it's
the
just
day,
like Metallica,
they're legendary
too.
back then for sure.
Well, it's really hard for bands because, like, you know, the one thing, like, Lamb of God came out with a new album, and it was not as good as I wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you know, I understand the evolution of music, but sometimes it feels like Metallica, like in the early 2000s, they sold out. They used to be metal. All their songs were traditionally about politics.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, oh, they're Satan worshipers. No. Nope, he's talking about
Listen to
the
the
failing
lyrics.
of society,
Yeah.
the failing
They don't
of the
even take the
parents.
time to look up the
talking about their
lyrics.
No, they
feelings.
No.
It's just, those devil worshippers.
I can't understand all this noise.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the
It's
funny...
just rah, 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 rah.
But it's not that hard to Google.
Yeah,
are the
do a
lyrics?
little
Okay.
sing along. Google the lyrics, read along with it,
Yeah.
and eventually you'll start to just pick out exactly
You'll
what
hear
they're
it
saying
as- yeah.
without even needing the lyrics. You'll just know what's going on.
That's what I was
there.
telling Brandon. Brandon's like, man, they scream a lot. And I was like, yeah, I can
And I
hear
was
all
like-
the lyrics.
I
But
don't
I
hear
can't.
it always. And I'm like, I don't pick out those to me.
You know, have you ever did you like coffee the first time you tried it?
Yes.
Okay, I
But
tried it when I was a child. Did
I was
you like beer the
14.
first time you tried it?
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
did you like it later or maybe
But
acquire
see,
a taste
I like
for it?
I like some screaming in it. But I was like, oh man, it's a lot more screaming. And I'm like, it's just not usually the vibe I go for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, man, if I listen to them over and over, I can pick out words, I can pick out
Sure.
things. But if it's like the first time around, I usually can't. Because I'm like, oh shit, I have no idea what the
Yeah.
fuck they're saying
I certainly try to enunciate. Like,
Oh yeah.
as I'm
well,
like,
it's
producing this
insane.
stuff.
So, I have a cousin's husband. He had a church, like a Christian band,
Okay.
but they were a screamo Christian band.
Okay,
And so he was the guttural, like, I can't do it.
Like
but
Testament.
that wasn't too bad.
but that's what he would do, and I'm like, fuck, how do you do that for extended periods of time? Because when I do even like something for a short bit, my throat's like,
Yeah,
what in the hell are you
Take
doing?
us through that.
It's a
like-
technique. It's a real
Yeah.
technique. Like
So teach us.
Okay.
Wes can.
So
Fuck yeah, dude. This sounds awesome, man. I gotta learn how to do it.
So I
always wanted
have
to do that.
spent hours upon months, years, right? And like everywhere I drive, I'm making weird ass noises in my car. Like as strange as I can get it.
Dude, you should do Uber, and we'll record you.
Uber driving, and
Yeah,
start
I'll
making
start
noises.
scaring all the passengers.
Just like
Set up cameras within it, and
all the
certain
passengers
spots.
are just like, what's going on?
And
they're
then at the
roaring.
end,
When you get,
just
like-
go, thanks so much for riding with me. Leave me a 5-star review.
So a lot of it is learning how to make those weird noises, right? And so making a buzzer on a game show, right? And you try to take that sound, and you try to bring it further back and compress your vocals. And another fun weird noise is like trying to attempt, I'm not the best at it, but like Mongolian throat singing. Right.
Yeah, those
So
ones are
I'm-
nuts.
Yeah.
The
No,
Mongolian throat.
I can't do it very well.
He's got a didgeridoo in his throat.
Yeah. But you try to make all these weird noises and add that compression until it just sounds really scratchy. And the more compression you have, the more you can let that air out in a like slow, controlled manner.
Okay.
It's all a balance between the tank and the throat, right? Your diaphragm.
So you take those noises and then you
pressure.
just try to tighten those muscles that as you feel like, oh, these are vibrating at a really consistent pattern. Mm-hmm. You try to take those muscles and then tighten them just a little bit more until like you're getting that wet kind of dry kind of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. How what does your throat feel like the next day after?
Totally fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
if you're
have to
doing the
develop
technique
it
right,
like
you
a
don't
muscle.
hurt your voice.
Yeah.
If you're yelling, like you would if you were like, hey.
A lot of people think it like there is screaming, like actual screaming.
Yeah.
And then there is like a whole subsection of like different techniques
of screams.
Fry, pitch yells,
Yeah, fried. That's like more Randy Blythe.
Gutturals.
Yeah, and that's what I do a lot of, and that's where you get that really scratchy, compressed sound. Full on yelling, even then, it's not as easy as it sounds. You can go up to anybody, say, "Scream like me for like you're in a metal band," and it's not going to sound like
metal.
And it's really difficult for many of them.
It's a whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
People undersell it.
Like to prove that like this is a real technique that takes a lot of.
Oh, I can imagine, because
get
I'm like,
right.
I know whatever the hell I attempt is not whatever they are doing.
Yeah, and so like professionals end up, it's all about getting a good sound with the least amount of pressure as possible.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not letting all my
amount of
air out at
effort.
once. I'm trying to keep
quietly
it
as
contained.
possible, but still maintain your tone. That's what professionals are out there doing every night because they're trying to maintain their organic instrument every day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's this whole thing. I mean, the way I'm trying to compete is like powerlifting. You do a lot of breathing and bracing.
Yeah.
And so it's the same mentality. I mean, this
insane
vessel you're
muscle
trying
control.
and you're trying to just like make it as dense as a beer can.
Yeah. And if you do it wrong, you're going to cause inflammation and damage, and the next night you're not going to be able to perform.
Yeah, like I can blow out my voice, right? But if I'm not using the right techniques, if I overdo it, and I can recognize now, like, oh, my throat is starting to feel that way, where I need to take a break, and I'll be A-okay the next day.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see any metal dudes like in their 70s going up on stage. Because like you see, like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, he just retired because he tore his vocal cord, literally tore him, and they're like, there's really
I think
nothing
that
we
it
can
entirely
do.
depends on the person, right?
I think it's just
how
length of
disciplined they are through their
Right.
life
Right.
and how they treat it. Like musicians can get really, really like ritualistic about how they take care of those things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not just your moneymaker, it's your passion, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool if it's your moneymaker, but...
So how long were you Have you always been just making weird noises and shit? Like since you were little?
Yeah, actually, yes. So
Can you beatbox?
I was really into Legos, right?
Okay.
And so I would always make all these little spaceships and shit, and right, and make all these weird little laser sounds and explosion sounds, and really enjoyed the explosion sounds. For whatever reason, those are really fun. So try doing that. For whatever reason, believe it or not, tonsils play a part in this. I noticed a significant difference in how my throat did all these noises after I got my tonsils out. So I can't do the explosions as well as I could when I had my tonsils. It's weird. Yeah.
And that's where I still have mine.
Yeah.
Huh.
And my experience, like learning how to sing, was just like I was 8 years old and I was in a singing and dancing group. We would perform like Beach Boys songs and all these stupid covers that like old.
I did something similar about that same age too.
And so I like learned how to sing properly at a young age, and but I can't scream worth a damn really.
Yeah, I can't either.
So
if you hear me in my car, it sounds like cats are being strangled.
Again, there is screaming, but Fry, if you think of it like this, you're not making it loud. You're just making it. You're just making the sound and the
Give us
tone.
an example.
So it's actually fairly quiet, and like the closer you get to the mic and you kind of muffle it up a little bit, like the thicker it sounds. That's how you see those
eating the mic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cupping it a little, creating a little bit of air distortion inside
It's
there.
just
Because it sounds way more when you are eating the
It's
mic.
all coming from the equipment.
Yeah.
I'm just making the sound.
Huh. That's
So
fantastic.
because we turn up the vocal input a lot to compensate for that, like the level.
quieter
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. And so when I do those louder yells, I can hold it out
Yeah.
and still try to maintain that distance where it sounds
Good
at the
because
same
it's
level.
just wherever
And
that distance
And when you
is
can hear it, you're monitoring it in your
Yeah.
in-ears. And so you're like, you can articulate.
Oh, that makes it
That's
fantastic.
cool.
Yeah. Well, that's what we realized because we tried an episode, I think, without headphones once, and it was like, oh, dude, it was way different.
Dude.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that. And so from then on, we're like, we actually, now, anytime we do Zoom ones, we can't hear ourselves because we have to plug it in and we only hear them. So it's really weird when we do
Interesting.
Zoom episodes because we're like, usually we're used to hearing
So we'll just
our
lift
in-ears
off
and that.
one
And
we
it's like,
can hear
it's so
ourselves.
weird to do that because we only do Zoom ones once in a while. Most of our episodes are in person.
I
So-
have
like
a Steel Series gaming headset.
Oh, nice.
And it has a nice little volume control for your own mic input. And if that ever gets turned down and I start talking with the noise cancellation everywhere else, it's odd. Everything else is so loud and clear, and I'm just like this muffled little
It's
nothing.
so weird to speak
hate
when you
that.
can't hear yourself.
It's weird.
Yeah.
The same thing with singing. It's hard to sing if you cannot hear it.
Right.
Oh, I can imagine.
So that's why we have our in-ear monitors now, and they've been a game changer.
How long have you guys had in-ears?
Just for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you were looking. Were you in? Like, did either of you have a band prior to, or like?
Back in 2012? Yeah, I played in a band back home in Richfield called Libertatia with my buddies.
So,
It was
are
a
you
small
bass?
time
Are
band
you
back
six
then,
string? Are you
Back then it was a 6-string electric, yeah.
okay? What are you playing now?
A 7-string. Yeah.
What the fuck is a 7-string?
A guitar with 7 strings.
Yeah, what is that added
It
string?
adds a lower string on the top.
Is it a lower? Like, what is the lower
you
note?
envision
typically?
the 6-string guitar, right?
Yeah.
All 6 strings, one note or the next string lower.
Is it just another like? Because they're
If it's
obviously you can tune it down. but, like,
we turn it down to a drop tuning.
What is
So-
it typically at on that 7th string? Is it like an A? Is it an E?
It is an A, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it was tuned standard, it would be a B.
Okay.
So we just drop that down a step, and that's kind of where we play at. Like
That's wild.
tons of metal bands are using drop tuning. It's
I-
kind of like,
it makes
it's
sense.
just-
Yeah, it changes the whole
Yeah.
sound.
Makes a lot of those intricate chords and shredding
Oh, they
riff
just- they-
deals like a lot more
They
accessible.
sound fantastic. Yeah,
well,
when
and
you
it changes
have
the
that.
way that you play chords up there too, so people, really enjoy how efficient it is, and it's lower and perceived as
I've seen
heavier. But
12
like tuning
string.
doesn't really affect
I've just
heaviness.
not heard of a 7. So
Yeah,
that's
there's 8 and 9 string guitars.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
oh
Oh yeah, look
Yeah,
crazy.
like Aaron Lewis plays an 8-string from Stained. So he play. The only reason I know about that is because I look like him.
You do, now that you say that, holy
I do,
shit,
dude.
man.
Like it's fucking even now with my
You're
glasses.
pretty Aaron Lewis right now.
Well, because my mom lives out in Mass near him, and he's like into country now.
Yeah.
He did country for a long time, and now they're kind of coming back, and they're more like the emo rock.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know
that's what
Stained. I loved them when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, they're great. You know, they used to be metal, but
did,
then
yeah.
old hot dog flavored water guy Fred Durst found them, and he's like, "You should do more melodic ones," and he did. I mean, it's good. I like Stain, but I would like to hear those songs in metal form because
Sure.
when you listen to when you read the lyrics, you're like, dude, that could be a fucking sick metal song.
Yeah.
You know, that's dude, there was another one. There's this guy on YouTube, and this actually goes really good into another question I want to ask you guys. The best way to say it, dude, he looks like a musketeer, like a French musketeer.
Okay.
He's got like long, like curly long hair. Always looks wet, and he's got a beard on, and he'll do like he'll get song requests.
Oh, that guy's incredible.
Yeah, and they'll say sing Usher as metal. And dude,
that's cool.
I want to hear that song in metal now. Like I just want to see a bunch of covers of regular
I
songs.
think his name's Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude.
He does great covers.
He's incredible.
Oh.
Awesome vocalist.
That is so cool. So speaking of that, like I know you guys you play your own stuff all the time for practice, but What's a fun candy thing that you guys like to practice? What's your favorite song you like to play or sing?
As in like a cover?
Yeah.
Oh man, we used to play like just for fun. We'd play System of a Down all the time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. I spun System of a Down this morning to just get in the mood.
They're awesome.
They're so good.
We adore those guys.
You're gonna have to load that bolt, bro.
Right now we are
yeah.
playing around with covering A Symptom of Life by Willow. Pop song, and trying to do one of those little pop to metal
If you've heard
There were
Willow's
some
new
really
album,
good
it's just
pop to
unbelievable.
metal ones back
Yeah.
in the day, though.
I don't know if you've heard that song, but it is so good.
I might have, but
You ever seen those
cool.
those mashups where they'll take like Slipknot and Linkin Park
Yes.
and they'll put them together?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We'll just take in the same key, BPM, and everything else.
It sounds incredible. That's what I want to see
I think
more
I
of.
saw someone do like "Staying Alive" in a Disturbed song. I don't remember which one.
Oh yeah.
The same structure and key. And it was so funny.
oh, that's hilarious. I
Dude,
can imagine.
And that's what I love about metal, and that's why it never goes away. You know, if you think about it, like grunge is now listened to by kids because it's retro,
Right.
which makes
that
me
so
feel
weird?
old as
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what are you listening to? And I'll guess you ever heard Pearl Jam?
Dude,
They're all
I've always struggled
What?
with grunge. Never really cared for
no,
it.
but Pearl Jam is the favorite one of mine because it's so obscure and the best impersonation of the lead singer of Pearl Jam. I don't remember his name. Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder.
Eddie Vedder and Adam Sandler used to make fun of it.
Yeah.
And he go, smell like roast beef. And I mean, you
They
just,
just kind of tie every word together. Like,
yeah. And it was just, I never understood it. I actually played it for my kids a couple days ago, and I was doing
that's
that.
funny.
And my son Nick was dying. He's like, people actually listen to this shit? And I'm like, yeah, a lot of people.
No, I'd say like Alice in Chains would be probably
I liked.
Oh, yeah.
I still
one of my
like
favorite of
Chains.
that era.
Alice in
Kind
Chains
of.
is good.
Yeah, me too.
In
Like,
that genre and era.
Yeah.
yeah, they were good. They were really good. A lot of the other ones, even Nirvana, like,
Nirvana was like the biggest band in the world in like '93. Isn't that
True.
crazy?
Yeah.
I like
It's
Smashing
nuts.
Pumpkins more than that, and that's nowhere near it. Like when you hear Billy Corgan talk, and you're like, "But why do you sound like that?" Like that's the other thing too. Like, how do you find your voice?
Yeah.
Because Billy Corgan has a voice like mine.
Right.
His mousy nasal voice. It's
Yeah, you're like-
strange, dude.
That's a completely alter ego. So that's a question, man. Is it when you're singing? Is that an alter ego for you?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So at least when I go on stage, like definitely, I'm more of like a introverted to myself kind of guy most of the time, right? And so getting up and trying to be the front man is always a stretch for me.
Yeah.
And so I kind of have to work on stepping into those shoes of being like, I'm hot shit. Because I totally like don't really think that, but like that's what they want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's
And-
we
and
like
so
to play.
It's a good personal
We just
stretch
like to
for me.
play. Hey guys,
Slap
thanks
it
for
a bit.
coming.
Yeah, we just like to make music and have a good time, and hopefully people enjoy like what we're throwing down. But
I want to hear like that voice. Like, hey guys, I really hope you want to enjoy and
I've
enjoy
gotten-
the show.
Okay, so
and
I
then
have
you
gotten
take
that
off the
before.
hat.
I've gotten that before.
We
shows.
played a show and like I had my
That's
niece
fucking
come up
funny.
to me and she's like, he's all up there being all brutal, and then he's like, hey guys, thanks for coming. What's up? It's like,
So I'm like, I'm like, get the fuck up and all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
like that isn't really me. I know that gets the crowd hyped,
Yeah. Well, you're a performer.
it's staging.
right? But and I'm definitely working on that.
so it becomes
It's
the
somewhat of
persona.
learning how to do that act.
yeah,
right,
it
for a lot of
does
people.
become an act.
And that's I could see where that question comes from. Yeah.
Well, there's a really good book you should get into. I would listen to it. It's fantastic. But it talks about ego states. So I'm really big into behavioral sciences and things like that.
Me as well.
That's what I do actually as kind of a side thing now. And I mean, this is our gig. This is our
Yeah.
gig. It's slowly getting to that point.
It's true. And so on that note, while he's looking up that,
Yeah.
if you haven't yet, go check out our new site.
Oh,
it should
yeah.
be out soon.
Yeah, it should be out
Check
soon.
out Cannabis School Approved. We have new
Okay.
Cannabis School at dispensaries and where you can get your medical card in each state. So go
On
check
top
it
of
out.
that, you guys need to go down in the notes. You guys need to be listening to these guys right now. Well, not right now,
We'll have their links.
but pretty
After the
fucking
show.
soon.
Are you
Yeah.
are you probably YouTube?
We
Any
stream
other
on any
platforms?
platform, yeah.
Okay.
Our album's on everything, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Make sure we have links. in the
YouTube,
notes.
Spotify, Apple,
Where the
Bandcamp.
Apple. I always forget Apple Music has it. Because ours is always like podcasts.
Yeah.
So ours is a little different because it goes to Apple Podcasts. It does go to Spotify. We're on like 20 different, places it pushes out to.
Oh,
but
for sure. Same
just-
kind of thing. Just have
Yeah.
your distributor, they put you everywhere.
Are you guys? Do you have your own producer? Like, do you guys produce all your
We're
own music?
self-produced primarily.
Yeah.
Our buddy Austin Bentley produces the vocals and helps us with instrumentation.
We record and conceptualize everything on our own.
Yeah.
And then
Do you
we
guys
say,
have a studio?
like our buddy Austin nails the vocal recording. So we say, hey, Austin, do your thing with, what we're working on. It usually goes pretty quick. So we have everything already pre-worked out.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Same with the final recording of the instruments. Like we did all the tracks ourselves and sent them off to Nick
Sampson,
Sampson.
yeah. So this was a guy that had mixed albums that we had really loved, and so it was like we want to
Yeah.
find someone who's awesome at mixing.
Yeah.
And so we did our best to produce everything, and then we just shipped them out to him, and he just made it beautiful. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
it makes a world
Yeah.
of difference. I mixed sound for a church for a couple of years here, and after I left Mormonism, and then I joined like a Christian church for a bit, and they had a band, and I would mix their music every week, and did that for years. And I was like, all right. I noticed, holy shit, it makes like a world of difference in
yeah.
like what you can hear and understand or not. Or
We've been to many shows where the sound
always subpar.
miserable.
just-
I am
hard to
It's
do,
very
bro.
discouraging because
Yeah.
you go to see a band and the sound is all fucked off.
So
Just
what-
like, come on.
That fucked me up.
Half the time
with-
I want to just go fix it. I'm like, can I just
For
tweak
real,
your
bro.
settings
Yeah.
for you,
I just
man?
want to go and whisper in his ear, but I don't want to be that guy. Like,
Yeah, I just want to help everyone else.
I don't
have a better
necessarily know
experience.
better, but it don't sound right, man.
Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah, I saw Lincoln Park when they first launched. I was just out of the Navy, and it was fucking horrible. The
Brutal.
sound was
Is
bad.
this like 2001 or something?
Oh yeah, dude, it was bad. And we were just like, and my buddy's like, he got it for my birthday. He's like, dude, we got Lincoln Park tickets. I'm like, this one's fucking awesome.
Right.
Let me go there. Horrible. And I was like, oh, Chester
And
sounded
when that happens,
horrible.
like the people who are like just aren't knowledgeable about like how sound design works, they usually walk around saying, "Man, that band sucked."
For real?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it like damages the band's reputation, even though like
For
it's
real.
usually just the sound guy like
Yeah.
kind of just fucking off a little bit and
Yeah,
doing the wrong thing, like I'm just gonna put these levels
Uh,
here. Sounds okay. I'm gonna go smoke my cigarette.
One
See
of the
ya.
smartest moves I think bands
Yeah.
make is getting their own sound engineer
Yeah.
and bringing them on the road with them.
I think so too, because I noticed that because some of them they'll have like headliners and that, and I'm
the
like,
booth in
oh,
front of the booth usually,
Yep.
and that's like they brought their own guy.
but I can hear it because I'm like, oh, that one's shittily mixed. Like
Yeah.
whoever's their music guy is not very good.
Right.
But then I'm like, well, I'm really thankful that the headliner has their own soundboards. They've got everything lined up, and I'm like, okay, they've got their own sound guy.
yeah,
Like he comes with them. He knows what he's doing. Is not whatever this other guy is. Because holy shit, first day jitters. It's
he's already got presets ready, So the sound guy will already have like presets ready typically, and then he just has to make like mild adjustments based off of the size of
Yeah.
the venue and all kinds of different factors.
but mostly everything else. It's like you bring the same mics, you bring all your same stuff. So everything else, like you should have familiarity and
Yeah,
know
it's
these
consistent.
are our standard
And
levels.
that's like
but
part of having our own in-ear rig is like we bring our own
huge
mixing
difference.
station. We bring a studio, and
With you guys.
we split everything.
Yeah.
The front of house gets control of whatever the people hear, and we have
Faith is
control
all
of
on
what
them
we
to,
hear
to
and
do what
inside
they
of
need
our
to do. Like
our
we have
ears.
no idea what it sounds like out there.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
because what people hear is not what we hear.
no,
Not at
the
all.
in-ears is whole
whole different world.
Yeah,
Just the stage in general. Yeah,
because
That's
usually every
crazy.
person's in-ears was different, and I'm like. So I go through and it's like, all right, drummer, what's your in-ears? Let's adjust yours. Let's get yours at where you want. All right,
Yes,
this one. All right, let's
exactly.
do your
Yeah.
in-ears. Let's do yours. And then it's like, all right, now I'm going to go through and do mine. I'm going to do the levels. Like it just
Everybody's got different levels,
Yeah.
and we're monitoring different things. Wes
way too
doesn't
many
need to
moving
hear
parts.
a bunch of certain things. I don't need to hear a bunch
No.
of certain things.
Yeah.
Well, and do you guys play with a metronome in your ear
Yes.
too?
Yeah, so we
Okay.
got clack, clack,
Yep.
clack smacking in our
Yep.
ear the whole time as well. But that's
Thankfully,
just,
I don't have to have that when I did the other. 'Cause
we
I wasn't
didn't used to
playing.
do that for years and years. We just freeballed it. But this was kind of the way to step it up and have, backing tracks to accompany our performance and
Yeah.
to like just have a really consistent performance every time.
That's crazy.
Because the beats
That's-
per minute can fluctuate, like
Yeah.
and it sounds really consistent, but in your head you're like, oh yeah, it's totally on. But with the metronome, you're like, oh fuck, I'm like barely off there, and that
Well,
consistency.
it keeps us
makes-
on track. Like even if like there's like a little hiccup from someone else, like that they're gonna move past, but like it keeps you still
That beat is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
synced in.
that's cool. I bet that makes. I used to play piano growing up, and Grandma was the one who taught me for years, and it was always like a metronome. She's like, nope, this song is this many beats per minute. Put it here, practice to this. And it was like always
It's
the metronome.
probably the most valuable thing.
It's fantastic.
that
Oh,
any
yeah.
musician can
Timing
use.
is so critical.
I learned amazing timing with that because I was like, all right, everything was played with a metronome for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
So
It's important.
yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I never learned. I mean, I started learning guitar off tabs because I was hanging out with this guy when I was working at the state hospital. I had nothing to do, so we started learning how to do songs over there. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they didn't appreciate it. We were just playing like Tenacious D songs.
And just screwing around
Those
with
are good
acoustic
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play those all the time. Yeah, that was a long time
Well, I
ago.
learned from tabs too. I think Wes did
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Tabs.
Yeah, I should have.
That's how I did guitar.
You know the crazy thing, like I had this nice little acoustic guitar that I had for years, and then had a falling out with the friend that got me into it, and I never picked that guitar up again because it has a vibe with it, and I'm just like,
You just need a new guitar.
yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
totally what it is.
Yeah.
But I was just like, yep, nope.
Bro, just come over. I have two guitars.
Oh, I know,
get really
but-
high, and we'll just fuck around.
But no,
That's literally what we do.
Yeah.
yeah, see, that sounds like a
You
great
were asking
time.
about the process. That's a lot of what it is.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Was
no.
that your process when you guys started? Did you smoke at the
Yeah.
at the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We don't necessarily always smoke when we write, but we
No.
often do, and it absolutely influences what we do. you know?
Sometimes like when we're ever like just stuck on a concept, and we're like, you know what, it's just time to let go and like
Go smoke.
smoke, relax, hang out. Okay, let's think about this from the new perspective. And oh, dude,
Yeah.
this is the one. We're all just let us fuck yeah, dude.
Right? Because it's gonna
Has
alter
there been
your perspective, so it's
anything-
gonna alter your ideas.
That you like thought was really fucking amazing when you were high, and then afterwards
come
you were
back
like,
to it.
oh wait, that's what
Certainly,
it was.
it's detrimental sometimes as well. You'll be like, "This is awesome," and then later you'll review it and be kind of like, "What was I
But
thinking?"
luckily with DAWs now, you can like save all those ideas. You know what I mean? So you don't like writing songs beforehand is or like before we had all this is kind of like, I'm gonna write this song and now I gotta actually remember this.
It's true.
and
Yeah,
this,
we did
and this.
everything like just between us and a guitar, us and a practice amp.
So what's
back in the day?
DAWs? Is that a
It's
software
a
that
digital audio workstation,
Yes.
like Pro Tools or
DAW.
Logic or Cubase.
Okay, that's
So
cool.
That's just what people refer to them as, DAWs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where we record and edit all the tracks.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It's also what we use for our backtracks when we perform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
For all
cool.
the atmosphere and stuff, like, you know, all the guitar tones and stuff, like, and the screaming, like, that's all very raw still, right?
Yeah.
But like the atmosphere and stuff we're doing.
Yeah, we have some like
Underlay
keyboard and
behind it.
synthesizer instrumentation.
and we,
stuff.
you know, we wanted to have there, but not over prominent,
Yeah.
like
So, do you two do the synthesizer and all that as well, and just pre-record it, or is it the other two, or a combination of everyone?
yeah, all the atmosphere
It's
is us
yeah.
and our buddy Austin who does the vocal recordings for us.
So, how many
yeah, he-
instruments
he-
do
he
you
has
guys
a
play?
in with us
He has a
too.
great ear for that kind of stuff. So like
Oh,
we do
cool.
like the groundwork, and then as we're doing vocals, we'll be like, you know what?
He's
This-
an actual keyboardist. He can jam.
Oh, nice.
We're not really keyboard players.
What?
We're guitar guys.
Okay. Do you guys play any other instruments? Drums?
Drums.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I started
Drums,
out singing,
guitar.
drums, guitar. Yeah, we play
Singing,
most stuff.
screaming.
Oboe.
I love
Yeah,
lots of stringed instruments like harp. I can never afford one, but I love a harp.
Interesting.
Gotta-
Have you seen that
I have a
chick who does
handpan.
it?
Yeah.
Does the metal songs on
Yeah,
it?
it's so good.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah,
One of
got
those,
some bongos.
like,
I play
hand-
the didge.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Hand pans. What is it? The really big one that we got.
Oh, the djembe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
The djembe?
It's just a giant thud drum.
Oh.
kind of
Okay.
a bass, and you can articulate.
That's
It's
cool.
basically like a bass and a snare tribal.
So we
style.
have like our metal projects, but then we have our buddy Hatchet. That's his real
Actual
name.
name? Is he from Utah?
Yeah. he is.
Okay.
Well, it's his last name.
Okay.
But our buddy Hatchet and us will all kind of get together, and maybe a couple other friends, and have all these weird world instruments and just kind of jam.
Just play off each other.
Yeah. And do the little drum circle thing. It's always so much fun.
Oh, that's fun. Do you guys ever go to the Liberty Park drum circles? And
Never
I sit
gone
out
to
there.
like
No.
a public one. No.
No.
they have them on Sundays sometimes up there, and a lot
That
of
would
people go
probably
smoke
really
weed in the
fun.
park and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Sick.
yeah, that's interesting time.
I need to try it.
Sit on a
sometime.
hypodermic needle. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of other fun
no, that's not Liberty. That's the pint.
Oh, that's Pioneer. Yeah.
Whatever that. Yeah, that other big one is.
Yeah.
So
I remember walking through Central Park in New York and just like running into this gigantic drum circle, like 30 people. It was incredible.
yeah.
I was like, what the?
yeah, they have massive ones up there too.
People brought all
sometimes.
kinds of
That's
weird
cool.
percussion implements. It was nuts.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's another one too. I was going to ask you guys about it. It's a jazz band that does Tool covers. You ever heard of that one?
I'm not.
What?
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
Man, it does tool covers.
brass. It's something brass, but there's a woman singing. She does a lot of like. She's the best one. She'll do covers of Tool songs, and it's crazy because there are some guitars, but it's mostly horns that you'll hear.
Interesting.
It's kind of like Apocalyptica.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hear those guys like
Yeah,
with the
Apocalyptica with the cellos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a very symphonic way of doing it. Like,
yeah, it's so nuts. Like
There was
especially
another one. I think it was the Vitamin String Quartet. Would also do a lot of metal covers, but it was just the four
crazy.
stringed instruments.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Like,
Yeah. So, what's your favorite non-metal band?
That's a hard question to answer.
For me, you ask me any favorite, I'm going to struggle.
No, what's your favorite that you can pull from right now? Like if you could
for
listen
instance,
to?
like for instance, like this year, probably my favorite record that came out was Willow's new record.
Interesting.
It's incredible.
It's
It is so good.
very good.
That's
When you say record, you mean like vinyl?
I just
Or like the
sometimes
album?
refer to an
Okay,
album
I
as
just
a
didn't
record.
know
I
if
guess.
you, if you get records and
I'm
spin
sure
vinyl or
there's a
not.
vinyl of it. I wouldn't be
I do
surprised.
have some records, yes.
I was just curious. I have a small collection of vinyl.
Yeah,
So
I do as well. My roommate has a ton. He's got like everything.
oh, that's
so
fantastic.
what's in your playlist? If we went to your Spotify, what would we see on there?
Oh man, I'm always discovering new stuff, but I'm always listening to
Yeah,
the same stuff too.
I usually jam by genre, and again, favorite artists will be here
Exactly.
for a while.
Yeah. No. Me
But
too.
like, I usually bounce between like lo-fi, metal, EDM, and rap. Those are kind of my
Okay.
four.
Cool.
Love jazz. I have to be in the mood for that one. Same with country. Like, not my thing really.
Old
but there
country.
are old
I'm
country.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like old
Not
country.
not this new stadium country thing.
No.
But I don't know if you've heard of Bill Murray, not the actor.
Bill Murray's
There's
great.
there's a
band.
a band called Bill Murray,
Nice.
and they are kind of doing this country metal fusion
Interesting.
thing. That's just
It is great.
it's working out great.
That's cool.
So like, I'm not totally opposed to country. Just you probably won't see much of
I
that.
primarily listen to metal, but I like rock a lot. Like probably like old rock, like Rush, like old
Okay.
prog stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dream Theater.
Big
Yeah,
fan of
Dream Theater's
Fleetwood
good.
Mac.
Yeah.
I love Fleetwood Mac. Lindsey
Fleetwood's
Buckingham on the guitar is insane.
Um,
Have you ever
but-
seen him play, dude? Like it's magic.
Let me ask you this really quick: what do you guys define metal as?
Yeah,
For me, metal's a feeling I get from that. So I mean, Disturbed is not metal for me. Disturbed is emo rock to me.
Okay.
That's where Metallica falls too. Old Metallica, Black and Back, all the way to like, Kill 'Em All.
Yeah.
Yep, that's metal.
Quintessential
Sure.
metal. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
sure.
metal. That is you want to put that up there with the greats, like Dio and fucking Ozzy and shit like
Black
that, right?
and Back is definitely what I've always loved.
Exactly, right? But the newer stuff, it just kind of goes poppy. But way I like what I consider metal is those bands who stay true to what they started with and why the fans love them. Lamb of God is always
that's a very interesting argument that we see. It's very polarizing in the industry. People are always whining and bitching about the band not staying the same. And as an artist, that's so stifling. As an artist, you're trying to capture
this isn't metal.
that part of your life, right? And all these people that have loved you for years and years, they want to capture the feeling that they had when they first heard you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't play out like that. So they hold on to that feeling as you continue to grow and change and put out new material, and they're holding on to this old
feeling,
nostalgic vibe. That's kind of what it comes down to. And I've been in that camp when I was younger. I understand that bitching about them changing, but I've grown past seeing these are individuals, man. They got lives and they're growing and they're learning and changing all the time. So when they're writing new music, that's like a snapshot of someone's soul. It's really weird.
That's
how
it
plays
is crazy.
Out. Art is strange in that way.
Well, because
that's what
both
music
sides
is.
have value
It's
in it.
art,
Yeah.
That's the hard thing because that is the dilemma with the artist, right?
Yeah. Well, so there's this weird dilemma, I guess you could say, or I don't know what the right word is, but in the music genre that is metal, there's kind of this gray line of not sure if it is metal.
Yeah.
If some people, it's if they're screaming in it, metal.
But I think there's a lot of that that's emo. I think a lot of it's punk or emo though. They introduced just a small bit of
clean singing, driven songs that are still very, very metal.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
but I don't think metal is necessarily I think it's just the whole style of it.
No,
there's more punk, there's emo, there's a rock.
Is a great answer.
Yeah, metal.
Jesse,
I think it is.
Because, but also to me, to add to the feeling idea is just those bands that started it all. Black Sabbath and Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and these bands.
Yeah. But
even Led Zeppelin and Beatles inspired metal musicians along the way and all that stuff. That's what metal has always been to me. And Metallica is that, in the early days, these are the guys who kind of created this style and this way of expressing, and everyone since then has just built upon it. Well, there's this massive family tree of subgenres, and I'm familiar with most of them. I listen to tons of metal in all kinds of different areas. I really like melodic death metal. I really like
Orbit Culture, because Orbit Culture is this. It's crazy because
they're really industrial melodic death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But it's crazy
with Metallica singing.
Occasionally some Metallica singing. Yes.
Yeah, you'll hear it, and that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, that sounds like James Hetfield in the fucking 90s.
Those guys are sick.
Yeah, they're really cool, and that's what I like to see, the progression over there. I don't like seeing bands all come out like My Chemical Romance. I like them. There's a lot of metal songs from My Chemical Romance.
Came out.
They're emo though. That's not metal.
No, but they have metal songs.
No, not really.
See that's kind of that gray area.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't really think
I just felt
people
totally say that's metal.
My Chemical
I don't know if I would
metal.
personally say it's metal.
They just were that emo phase of time that it was real emo music that came out, and that just felt like My Chem was really.
So for me, that's what I call screamo.
Okay, yeah, screamo.
That's actual screamo. That's kind
screamo.
of a funny thing that most people get
But
wrong.
screamo, I feel
I'm
like, is
familiar
different
with
than metal.
But a lot of people just say screamo is a blanket term.
It's not the same as metal.
Scott yelling and
Metal's a
screaming in it.
whole
That's
different
screamo.
vibe
No.
of-
Metal's the top of the pyramid
Screamo's
of
emo pop.
subgenres.
And I feel like the screamo is the kid version of it. It's I'm like, all right, but then metal's it's a whole different feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Have you guys seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Oh yeah.
Once.
Okay. So I saw this awesome meme, little GIF, right? And it was what's her name? Ramona Flowers. And she was like listing off all the different kinds of tea that she has, and Scott's just sitting there like there's not that many, but she was listing off all these different like subgenres of metal. What kind of metal do you want to listen to? Well, what do you have? I got
dozens of them.
He's like, I don't know. You
I
made
don't
some
know
of
what
those up,
that
right?
Deathcore, post-hardcore, like
That's hilarious.
death metal, metalcore, progressive metalcore, gent. Like there's tons and tons of different.
Well, because they're defined in their own way,
Hardcore, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you go to some of the earlier ones, because Lamb of God can definitely be considered one of the earlier, more successful.
And Lamb of God is considered groove metal, thrash metal.
Yeah.
Thrash metal. Yeah, that's where my jam was. I love thrash metal.
Yeah, me too.
But
Love it.
It just like you said, like there's different things. There's different metal songs from people you wouldn't necessarily consider metal, because it's the feeling that you get. You're just going,
Yeah, there's a certain attitude to it as well.
Totally.
Sure,
there's some really old good metal songs.
like Randy from Lamb of God is punk rock as fuck.
Oh,
that guy, dude.
I know. Dude, you watch this documentary where lead guitarist came up with that riff for Descending. And while he was playing it, the bassist is like, that's not metal. Don't fucking play that. And he's like, no, I got something here. And Randy takes it and writes the lyrics.
Yeah.
And bassist was still fucking pissed. Their old drummer was really fucking pissed and left. So when he left the band, but the coolest way to be able to see that, and that's why you guys, like, when you know your craft and you're playing really into the mode where you're feeling it, right? That's where I was like, one of the band, like when I always bring up the Lamb of God, because during the pandemic when they played from their houses on a Zoom, it was epic. Like,
I watched some of that, yeah.
And that's like raw Randy Blythe, and that's cool, because it's exactly what you said. Like when you're hearing somebody sing in metal, there's a lot of craft that has gone into making that voice, and then being able to go back to a normal voice and totally being fine.
A lot of people I've heard say it's like the same vocal techniques as you would see in like an opera singer. I don't know if you guys have watched this video from the Charismatic Voice, a little YouTube channel. Yeah. This chick, Elizabeth from Utah, awesome channel. Okay?
She does so cool.
She's finally taken this dive from music suggestions into metal, and it's just gone downhill momentum, but uphill, right? Like she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm understanding the craziness behind this. And one of the things that she did, she got the vocalist for Lorna Shore. I don't know if you guys have like that is some heavy ass shit. Okay,
really heavy death metal stuff.
Insane.
Deathcore.
Okay, so she got Will Ramos to come on and stick a camera down his throat,
do all these crazy goblin techniques and these
like
different
do all your vocal techniques. And he's like, okay, I'm a little numb, but here you go. And you can see his throat contort and shape to make all these weird sounds.
That's so crazy.
It was really cool.
Because that's what you feel.
Just
like
looking at the science of screaming in that way, it was really, really neat.
Well,
we're finally like starting to define these things that have been going on.
What was
years.
that band again?
Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
How do you spell that?
Lorna.
Shore.
Got it.
All right, so if our
really
audience were to
brutal.
go check out one of your songs, what one would you guys recommend?
Well, that's hard.
It is.
No, the EP's like a half hour long. Just go check it out.
Yeah.
Every song's dynamic in its own way.
You don't have a favorite?
I do.
It's a favorite.
I have Helldiver as my... Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Cool.
That's one of my favorites. I really like that. I love that. And then Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum was aimed, as we were writing it, to be the most accessible. So like for someone who listens to a lot of pop or rap, it has that overall structure of just like intro, verse,
because we kind of like
chorus.
more progressive structures
verse,
and songs
chorus.
that meander around, but there's also those standard structures that are easier for people to latch on to.
Do you guys have it? I guess is every song a different structure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly.
Very much so. You can tell that there's a progression through each song, which
we don't like to be formulaic.
like Hatebreed. Hatebreed is Hatebreed.
Yeah. I mean, Lamb of God is somewhat formulaic as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still really incredible.
In their own way, right? Exactly. But it's because that's the way that their art moves.
But I don't know.
This is the way your art moves.
Well, yeah. So what we tried to do is try to at least tickle the appeal of as many of those quote subgenres that have inspired us throughout the years.
Yeah, you could definitely
you know,
hear
like,
it.
oh, you're into the really proggy, technical shredding song. Okay, you're probably gonna like Disintegration or maybe Wavemaker.
Okay.
If you're into the clean singing and still having a really driven, steady chorus kind of a thing, Spectrum.
Yeah.
If you want something with a clean atmospheric breakdown in the middle, Kintsugi. And we tried to have all these songs lyrically, and as well as even down to the BPM, kind of do this kind of a bell curve.
Did this climax throughout the album, and it
Does the album have a
moves.
theme?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
personal
does.
growth and like
Confronting. So the EP is called Paradox Within Paradigms,
Okay.
and for us, that is just the acknowledgement of confronting the contradictions in your own belief.
yeah,
Like, and what does that actually entail? So the whole album is aimed to take you on this journey of like
perspective movement.
someone gaining a new perspective, gaining this epiphany. And for us, it kind of goes like, we kind of like simpled it, or at least took the whole concept and narrowed it down. So first it's like, Disintegration is like, man, the world sucks. You know, there's a lot of rough stuff going on.
Shit's wrong all over the place. You know?
Yeah.
Or just like acknowledging some of those problems in that song.
And then we take it to Megalomania, where it's like, you know what? The world sucks, but it's you. It's you, man.
People like you that are making it more awful. And then
Yeah.
when it moves to Helldiver, that's more of an introspective thing. It's more about the inner self, like
Realizing that maybe I'm part of the problem.
Yeah,
Like maybe I'm not up here like I thought I was.
Probably why I'm into that song.
Like I'm not really up here like I thought I was. And now I'm starting to see things from like
a new perspective.
from this new perspective, and so like the crushing weight of what can happen on the extreme end of that change.
The way you guys described that actually is perfect for way that I think of metal, because it is this crazy experience of what I'm trying to go through and what I'm feeling right now. And what's cool is to be able to read the lyrics and go along with it. You start getting closer to it, and then you hear the artist actually explain where it came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you hear like
I love that process too. Like
Right?
getting that feeling and then actually seeing where they were coming from too. Because there's a lot of ways to perceive a song. It can be
It's always interesting to hear like a different perspective than what the unified idea of like, yeah, this is what that means.
sometimes
artist said it,
what
and then
the
someone else will be
listener
like,
gets
"Isn't
out of it isn't what we intended.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy
Exactly.
part.
They have their
right?
own interpretation of your
Right.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like descending
That's a
for
beautiful
me.
thing.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like every art. You know, every artist has their, whether it's painting or music or
Yep.
whatever, or a dish. You know, there's always some sort of form of art into that, and there's always the artist's interpretation, meaning, and the like taken interpretation of the audience, whoever's viewing it.
Yeah,
you
Right.
know?
So yeah, Helldiver is the third one. So after Helldiver, after you go through this ego death, you could say,
Kind of, yeah.
then
Just
there's
a whole new perspective.
with that new perspective, learning to forgive yourself and be like, it's okay. Because I don't know if you guys know what kintsugi actually is. It's a Japanese art form where, let's say you have a, cherished pottery. It breaks, and they decide to put it back together with gold and use that as the adhesive. And
The gold and precious metals, they would glue these
it makes it
potteries back
look
together.
even, I think, way cooler looking
They
than it
look
was
even
before.
better,
Yeah. They do look really
and
cool.
it's every
Yeah.
time it's like unique, right? And
Yeah.
so that song's a lot about just putting yourself back together and
Being new.
And-
seeing those
and
flaws
knowing that you're
as
better
like something that
after
can
that traumatic
grew
event,
from.
like you can make yourself better from it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, the
Like-
cracks now are
Yeah.
they're not cracks, man. These are the glowing
It's an
parts of me.
opportunity that you can
Exactly.
like.
Yep.
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
the
Make
beautiful
yourself
parts of me
stronger.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes me who I am. That's fucking cool. This is so awesome, dude. Because I didn't know any of this shit. I just enjoy metal.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it really is. Like, it's learning about that and hearing about, like, knowing that this album is progression.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's self-progression.
That was to try to nail this down, this huge concept that we could talk about for hours. And
sure.
have talked about for hours into 6 songs, half
nuts.
hour.
It's fucking
So
awesome.
the next
though.
track was
crazy.
Wavemaker, and that's all
Yeah.
just about being original, primarily.
Yeah.
Just try
Making an impact. You
Yeah.
know? There's a lot of people. I feel
finding
like
your own personal identity, right? Instead of
defining your own voice kind of a
Yeah.
thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the Spectrum, the final song, to top it all off, is just
Just to sum up the whole album as a whole, essentially, which is, you know, like,
contradict your beliefs. Everybody has beliefs that they stick too strongly to, and everybody has a different perspective. And it's important that we are open and share those with each other so that we can get a little closer to the objective truth, in my opinion. Like
there's so many different ways to look at a single thing.
Like if we held an object in between us, we're all going to describe it differently, right? If you were asked to describe that,
We'll do it like this. So
Right.
you guys are probably seeing some green and orange. He's going to say it's black. You're going to say it's mostly orange, right?
Oh, I only see just a sliver
Oh,
of orange
sliver,
and a lot of
sliver, okay.
grayish,
Right.
See?
greenish.
Same
yeah.
thing, but it's different for you. And beliefs are a lot like that.
If we have
too.
that tunnel vision and you hold on to like, that's all it is. It's just an orange stripe.
You're like,
And
no,
I'm
there's
sitting here
more
like,
to it.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
2 little things of
But
orange.
if you're
What are you talking
stuck and you're chained down to that belief, then you
Yeah.
can't really even connect with me, or you can't even really understand.
You can't see my
about?
perspective.
The
Yeah.
truth is somewhere in the middle there.
We went through this course. It's neurolinguistic programming, and they talk about like
Dude.
visually the amount of pixels that your eye takes in, and then the amount of pixels that your brain can process.
Yeah.
And it's literally like 3% of the pixels that we actually process. So we're perceiving 3% of the reality in front of us at that moment. So whatever our reality is that we're going, this is what happened. That's only what happened in the 3% of the reality that you saw.
so
Someone
the-
else could have seen a whole different
There's this.
3%.
I don't know how deep down the rabbit hole we want to go. So here's, but like there's that single point, that object, that point of contention or whatever. Like, let's just find that point, call it a ball. If you were to go around and define every degree as a single point, and circle's technically infinite, right? Add 1 plus 1, whatever. But let's just say there's 360. In order to get the full perspective, you need to like take half of that, the radius, so 180 degrees, 180 different points of view, and then rotate that 360 degrees itself. Right? So 100,
Basically a sphere.
180 to the power of 360
So that's a
different
lot.
perspectives
That's
for
a lot
one
to
single
get to
thing,
the
and even still,
actual
that's
truth,
just
right?
that's not even close to what it is, right? Because circles are.
Yeah.
But like, if we find something we can all agree on, that's probably pretty damn close to the truth.
Yeah. Just got to discuss it, and it's like, what's your perception
Yeah.
here? What are you
We know-
seeing over
we
there?
know your lamp is a lamp. You know, we know that the bomb.
I
is
love
the bomb.
lamp. I love lamp.
Like,
Where did you get that hand grenade?
Brick
but,
killed a guy.
yeah, like, and
right.
like beliefs for people they hold so tightly to them, and it just kind of obscures the big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that religion and all kinds of different things are laughable when you argue about which one's which and whatever. People are all trying to get to the same place on different roads. We're
Yeah.
all,
Have you ever heard
so it's like, and it's
March
we're
to
all
the
just
Sea?
calling the same thing by different terms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
The song
familiar.
March to the Sea or March to the Sea by 21 Pilots. It's like everyone's all marching to the same place. They're all in a line and they're like, hey, you're going the wrong way because you stepped out of line, but you're all marching to the sea. You're all still going the same. You're all,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh, well, you're doing it wrong because you listen to this other voice or this other thing, but you're still all going the same place. You're like, it's that same concept of like, everyone's got their own path, but
Yeah.
we're all heading the same direction, but we're all fighting that we're heading the same direction.
Well, and the
Right.
thing-
And like your path's
Yeah.
wrong.
No, and we primarily all want the same things out of life.
Yeah.
We want to
Yeah.
be loved.
Exactly.
We
Seen,
want a sense of
accepted.
purpose,
Yes.
you know, and we want to feel joy. That's pretty much it, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty much what everybody wants.
Yeah. And so it's like on a basic
Just
level,
stability,
if you can see
love,
that in another human,
food.
You know,
There's the necessities,
shit.
of course, but like,
it's funny because when those who are wanting to have absolute truth, who want to be right, are usually the ones who are the most miserable.
yeah,
But those of us who take, well, what else can I learn?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm very much a Christian, but I'm a Christian in the sense of my beliefs in, you know, whatever deity, whatever, all that other stuff. That's just something that I believe. But I don't believe that defines me. It's just something about that I find
something
that's
that
awesome.
resonates for you.
Ben and Jerry's sounds better than
Yeah,
Halo
yeah,
ice
certainly.
cream.
Yeah.
It appeals to me. That's my taste. That's my flavor. And some other people have unfortunately have had this flavor shoved in their fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
And
us.
you're
That's,
like,
that's a
whoa!
little
Yeah.
bit how life for us growing up was.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
And, you know, we were Christians, but now we're just open to whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
to,
and-
like to each their own. Like, you know, we
Yeah,
don't want to
but I
discourage
love
anyone
the
from doing anything
discussions
that makes
now.
them feel at peace, right?
I love the discussions that have arisen because I've taken myself out of that.
Yeah.
Like when it sucks, but when I was in that, I grew up in that too. I had a very closed mind. I had a very narrow perspective.
Right.
Yes.
And now that I've stepped out of that, I'm like, oh hey,
And that's like part of what we're speaking out of, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like I
that's
can see
what this album
I can
really
see the
is
humans
going
but,
for.
Like the person I was judgmental, asshole, critical, like all of these things that I was like reactive, and yet that was, you know, when I was most following faith or in these things, and yet now that I've stepped away, and maybe it's cannabis, maybe it's time, maybe it's perspective, maybe it's a million things combined
It's all
into
those
one.
things, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But now I look at it and I'm like, I see way more of the human and the struggle and like the person instead of like whatever it was before.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's a certain weight to wisdom, I believe, you know, as we age,
Yeah.
you know, there really is.
That's a really good statement there. There's a weight to wisdom because it is hard. You know, and when you meet people, because I mean, I'm part of the local faith, but I find myself being that bridge of communication between both sides.
Certainly.
Because I get the
Sure.
other side going, how the fuck are you a Mormon?
Yeah.
And then the other one's like, you're a Mormon? The Mormons ask me, and you're a Mormon?
Dude, I know
I think it's hilarious.
countless good Mormons, dude.
Well, they're
I don't-
just
I've got
nice
no
people.
judgment for that.
No,
but I
no.
don't-
Nah.
But the thing
I
is,
have
it's,
many of those values, too.
but a lot of them have this idea of perfection or whatever the fuck that means, right? And it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
it doesn't it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist,
Yeah.
and it's like this shame factory, dude. Like, being Christ-like is just treating each other like you want to be treated. Like,
Yeah.
Be nice to people,
Get
helping
real.
them just to help them.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
like, hey, dude, I'll pick you up, but it's
What's
gonna
in it
cost
for me?
you.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's gonna cost
Yeah.
you. Like, I
Yeah.
can't help you because if it's not a quid pro quo, fuck you, right? But it definitely it just feels like it's just so strange. But that's where a lot of ask it.
It's
like, how can-
subject to to every kind of social construct you can ever see.
Exactly.
There's going to be complete dipshit assholes on one
Yeah.
side, and like the genuine best people in
Yeah.
that group.
But
it's like
Well,
there's
no,
stupid people
There's good
everywhere.
people and bad people,
Yeah.
really. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what
I
you
like that.
believe.
Yeah.
You have to have both sides because without it, there's no progression. Because if everybody was just doing it, then it'd be
And
demolition.
we're all capable of...
You've seen that movie,
Which one?
Demolition Man?
No, I've not seen Demolition.
Fuck, do you guys want to have a good laugh? Everything that's going on like right around now, they made fun of this shit back in the 90s. And they were like, this is what happens after this. Everybody loves
Probably
each
been
other.
a Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
one
The
point,
Simpsons
so.
is so
Dude,
good.
it's so funny. And it's just this story about how society is all happy. You're not allowed to touch each other. You can't swear, eat spicy food. You can't do all these things, right? And then Wesley Snipes is released from prison. So, you know, that shit's going.
Okay.
And then they're like, fuck, who do we get to do this? Well, let's get the guy with the list. So they get Sylvester Stallone, and he comes out, and it's this funny fucking world that they're in where they're like frozen. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil it. Watch it, and you're gonna laugh your ass off during
Okay.
it. Because he saw it, and he was just like,
was
what
good.
the fuck
Like,
is
this
this?
is some
I
weird
felt that
shit.
way about Idiocracy. Honestly.
Yes.
I love that movie.
It's so
Yes.
good.
It just keeps getting truer.
It's the comedy movie that's slowly becoming a documentary.
Are you a video gamer?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, I mean,
What are you playing?
Dude, right now I'm on the biggest Dead by Daylight kick.
Oh,
It is so much fun.
That's what my son's been playing a ton of.
So I played with him.
With Nick?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dude.
He's
That's
funny as
fucking
shit on that game. He's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, because I got him into this habit, like where you go over there and you grab a guy and you throw him up on the hook.
Yeah.
And I'm all, fucking hit him, show him what's up.
Oh, no.
And so when he does it, when he
no.
throws people up there, he goes, whack. And I'm like, that's right, bitches.
That's so funny.
And he's just like,
And they're probably getting so upset about it.
oh, I know. Dude, I'm already on the hook. It's just not fucking fair. Dude, that game is fucked up. And
It is so fun.
yeah, he played. His favorite is
messed up. He loves
Chucky.
But if I'm not so I'm really particular with my online games.
Okay.
Like for me, I kind of fell off the first person shooter train years ago.
Yeah,
It all just felt
Halo
the
4
same.
time ago.
Try
A lot of them
Like
do,
you can
yeah.
you can call this gun whatever and make it shiny and do whatever kind of damage.
Yeah, I'm not
I
a
like-
COD guy. I hate
Like
COD.
it's still just a first person thing with a little thing floating in front of you, and
If you want a challenge, go play Insurgency. There's no reticle.
No,
and
I've heard
no
about
bullet
Insurgency.
count.
Oh, it's fun.
My biggest love right now is the FromSoft games.
Oh yeah, you playing
I
Elden Ring?
love
Souls-like
that
games,
shit.
like, it's just
I've
incredibly
platinumed Sekiro and Lies of P, even though that's not FromSoft, but like it's.
You gonna play?
Souls-like.
What's that one? The monkey one.
difficult. Black Myth.
Black Myth.
Yeah, that
I'm-
game looks intense.
That's on my list. I'm very
yeah.
ready to play that.
You guys play Nier Automata?
Not yet. Not
That
yet.
one's
Near
cool.
Automata? Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
barely beat it, actually.
Dude,
Yeah.
that game
A few
is.
weeks
heard
ago,
awesome
for the first
things.
time I played it, right? Like 7 years after it was released. But like, I really enjoyed it.
trippy fucking
Beautiful
game.
It's cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Very
one of my.
strange and different style.
Yeah, very anime,
Yeah.
very creepy
Super
Japanese guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super
like,
Japanese.
oh, can I see upper skirt? This is good. You can, like, if you self-destruct, you blow off all of your clothes, and then you got like a thong going up there, and just like that's what's going to make this android more aerodynamic. Like, what's slowing her down? It's got to be the full underwear. Fucking cut it down. She's a stripper
Okay,
from
so
Venice.
the design of 2B may have been, pretty perverted, but it was still fun.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're really into it and you get to go to a Comic-Con, you're going to see some really awesome stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, you will.
That one lady who's just, shouldn't be wearing that. What other nerdy games you into?
Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Yep.
We love the magic.
Yep.
That's cool. I never got into card games.
That one is so good, dude.
It's ultra nerdy, but it's super fun.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
hear.
think it's been called or titled the most complicated game. Period.
All right. Well, hey, guys, thank you guys so much for coming. This has been an awesome conversation. Learned so much about what you guys. You guys will be able to find their link down below over to Spotify. Go over there, like it, follow them. Share it with everybody, especially if you're in Helsinki. You guys already know about this. You guys are probably freaking out right now.
Like, oh my God, they're on the show.
It's I know everything about them. You got a little shrine view made in their
No,
house.
We have a little more concentration there is all.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
some odd reason. It's been distributed to all kinds of places. We don't have visibility to everything.
No, well,
So it's
hopefully now, if you guys are metal fans, I know there's a lot of you guys out there, and if you're not, anyways, check them out, right? Give them some love, and go down and check out the links, check out the website. It's
Gonna
pretty
be dope.
awesome. It's awesome.
And tune in next week.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks for your time, guys. Cheers.